Fight ignorance. Fight ignorance as if it was the Vietnam War we witnessed. Fight ignorance as if you were fighting. You are among the fighters and those who were involved in the genocide of the Rwandans. Fight ignorance as if it was the war that we witnessed between the South Koreans and the North Koreans. Fight ignorance as if you are fighting Osama bin Laden. There is nothing that is as bitter as ignorance in a person's life. You suffer without knowing. There are some things that we as Christians we are going through, not because they lack remedies, but it is because we do not know them, we do not understand that there is a remedy for them, and that is why we continue to suffer. That is why I am here to encourage and to tell someone that fight ignorance as if it were your last enemy. Because ignorance is not a defense in a court of law. There is a war of the mind. A war of the mind. There is nothing that is as fierce, as bitter as a war of the mind. If I sit down and I look into the future, I am seeing the Third World War. The Third World War that I'm talking about is the war of the mind. It is the war of the mind. The war of the mind is the Third World War that I'm talking about. Come to think of a country where everybody has got an issue in the mind that is not giving him or her peace. Think of a student or in a school where every student has got an issue that is disturbing his or her mind. He cannot reason. There is nothing that person can do. Anybody who is not having peace in the mind, that man is closer to his death. There is no development that can take place in a person if there is no peace in the mind. The mind is facing a war today, in the today's world. Why am I talking like this? The music of today, the gengeton, the R&Bs, the music that we are pumping into our systems are affecting our reasoning capacity, concentration span, and it affects our mind as Christians. All these affect the mind, and there is nothing that is as fierce as when your mind is not at peace, because the mind controls everything. The war that I'm talking about as the Third World War is the war of the mind. The war of the mind. The music of today, the videos we are watching, what we listen and hear from people affect our minds directly. And they're causing a lot of things running in our minds. We've heard about students interfering with their schools, drug abuse everywhere. All these are being characterized by what we pump in our mind. The Third World War is the war of the mind. There is nothing that is as bitter as when your heart, your mind is affected. What you will be thinking of, what you will be reasoning, what will come out of your mouth will be already poisoned in the brain. The war of the mind is the third world war.